What's up, everyone? So glad to have you back with us today. We're off to the dusty, sun-baked wilds of New Mexico for a Civil War show that, honestly, no one really asked for. The Battle of Glorieta Pass, March 26 to 28, 1862, is called the Gettysburg of the West. It's kind of cute to think it was just a few thousand guys in the mountains, bickering over dreams of California gold. This little-known scuffle turned out to be a game-changer, totally crushing Confederate hopes in the whole Southwest. Picture this, it's 1862, and the Confederacy is having a tough year, but they've cooked up a smart plan. Their leadership looks at a map and says, "You know what we really need? More desert vibes." So, the plan was set in motion to send a quirky crew of Texans strutting westward. Their ambitious goal, to snatch the mineral-rich territories of Colorado and, ultimately, the gold fields of California. Nothing says winning strategy like stretching your already thin supply lines across a continent that clearly doesn't like you. It was a massive gamble, a Confederate manifest destiny that hinged on a long, perilous journey through hostile territory. Major Charles Pyron was the one leading the charge, but Brigadier General Henry Hopkins Sibley called the shots. Sibley was quite the character, a West Point grad and a career Army officer. He decided to leave it all behind and join the South. He's mostly known for two things: inventing the Sibley tent and stove that everyone loved, and his big passion for a good drink. To put it mildly, Sibley was a walking liquor cabinet. He was so often drunk that his officers were begging for help, saying, "Our commander thinks Santa Fe is a tequila." The guy's leadership was, let's be real, often pretty shaky, and that really hurt his campaign. On the Union side, you've got Colonel John Slough. And yes, his name is pronounced Slough, because of course it is. Slough rallied a bunch of Colorado volunteers, miners, prospectors, and frontiersmen, just regular folks, not soldiers. These tough folks dropped their tools, refusing to share their gold with the Confederacy. The Pikes Peakers grabbed rifles and marched from Colorado to New Mexico like it was nothing. Fired up and ready, they knew the land like the back of their hand, gearing up to take on the Texans in an epic showdown. The first shots are fired on March 26 at a place called Apache Canyon. A vanguard of Texans under Major Pyron runs into a detachment of Slough's Coloradans. The Texans charge. Coloradans dive back into the chaos, fighting fiercely over captured cannons and rocky terrain. It's confusing, it's messy, and after a few hours of this, both sides pull back, basically calling it a draw. Both armies sensed a big battle was on the way, and it was all set to go down at Glorieta Pass. Then comes the main event. On March 28th, the two armies meet again at Glorieta Pass itself. This pass is a narrow, winding spot that looks like a mountain range just landed right on the Santa Fe Trail. It's totally a defender's paradise, but for attackers, it's like a nightmare. Colonel Scurry is rallying the Confederate troops, while Colonel Slough is leading the Union forces into battle. They're shooting at each other from behind rocks, across a ravine, and through the pinyon and juniper trees. It's a real tug-of-war. For hours, neither side gets ahead. The rebels push, and the Federals push right back. It's a brutal standoff, with guys bleeding out in the stunning yet deadly desert. Why settle things peacefully, right? Meanwhile, and this, my friends, is the best part of the whole story. A Union major named John Chivington is up to something sneaky. Yes, that's John Chivington, the guy everyone knows for the Sand Creek Massacre. But on this day, he was the hero of the hour. Chivington takes about 430 of his men on a grueling detour. With a local guide leading the way, they navigate the mountains, climbing steep mesas and tackling tricky terrain. It wasn't just a casual Sunday hike. After hours of climbing, they finally hit the jackpot, a whole Confederate supply train chilling in the valley. 70 wagons packed with food, ammo, medical supplies, blankets, and clothes for Sibley's army. They swiftly take down the skeleton guard and then unleash total mayhem, igniting all 70 wagons in flames. They brutally killed over 500 horses and mules, making sure the Confederates couldn't move their wagons, even if they weren't burned. Just try to imagine being a Texan soldier on the front line at Glorieta Pass. You're totally wiped out and super thirsty, but you push on, dreaming of sizzling beans and crispy bacon waiting for you at camp. You hear a crackle and look up to see thick black smoke billowing from the mountains. Your whole logistics team is turning into ash. That sound, my friends, it's the heart of an army shattering, a grand dream going up in flames in the New Mexico wilds. By the end of the day on March 28th, the Confederates had technically won the battle on the field itself. They had successfully pushed Colonel Sluff's Union troops back a few miles. They held the ground. It was a bittersweet win. When Colonel Scurry's exhausted troops learned about their supply train, they knew the campaign was over. An army needs food and supplies to keep moving, especially in tough times. They might win battles but lose the war. The Confederacy wanted gold to fund their war, but it stayed with the Union, helping them defeat the South. The Battle of Glorieta Pass, the forgotten little fight that quietly saved half the country's gold and secured the West for the Union. What a wild story about strategy. If you liked it, smash that like button and share your battle ideas in the comments.